For more than a decade, the words Gilgo Beach carried an uneasy weight. They referred not to a single crime, but to a mystery. A stretch of shoreline where multiple victims were discovered over time, linked not by identity, but by silence. No clear suspect, no arrests, and a growing sense that whoever was responsible had managed to disappear into ordinary life. For years, families waited. Investigators worked without resolution. The public speculated. Then in 2023, a name emerged, Rex Heuermann. This video is a comprehensive, factual breakdown of the Rex Heuermann case, the Gilgo Beach serial killer investigation, the timeline of events, the charges filed, and how modern investigative methods finally closed in on a suspect after years of uncertainty. This is not sensationalized true crime. It is a methodical explanation of how a cold, complex case unfolded, and why its resolution raises important questions about investigations, accountability, and patience in the pursuit of justice. Before it became synonymous with fear, Gilgo Beach was simply a location along Long Island's southern shore. Remote, windswept, accessible, but isolated. It was this isolation that later became central to the case. Long stretches of brush line the roadway near the beach, separating pavement from water. Visibility is limited, foot traffic is sparse. At night, the area becomes almost entirely dark. This geography would play a significant role in how long the crimes went undetected and how difficult the investigation would become. In late 2010, police searching for a missing woman made a discovery no one expected. Human remains were located near Gilgo Beach. What began as a search for one person quickly escalated. Over time, additional remains were found along the same stretch of coastline. The pattern was alarming. The victims were discovered within proximity of each other, suggesting intentional placement rather than coincidence. But despite the significance of the findings, early progress was slow. The remains were not discovered all at once. They were found incrementally over extended periods. Each discovery raised more questions than answers. As investigators worked, it became clear this was not a single isolated crime. The number of victims grew. Public concern intensified. But the investigation faced major obstacles. Limited physical evidence exposed to the elements, time gaps between crimes and discovery, jurisdictional complications, leadership changes within law enforcement. For years, the case drifted in and out of public attention without resolution. Families of the victims expressed frustration and heartbreak. Each year without answers deepened the sense of injustice. The phrase Gilgo Beach serial killer entered public language, not as an official designation, but as shorthand for a mystery without closure. For most of the investigation, Rex Heuermann was not publicly associated with the case. He lived a seemingly ordinary life. He worked as an architect. He owned property. He maintained a low public profile. This is often the most unsettling part of long-running investigations. The eventual suspect does not stand out. There is no public persona signaling danger. The case did not stall because investigators were inactive. It stalled because the evidence did not yet point decisively to a specific individual. That would change much later. One of the defining aspects of this case is time. As years passed, investigative tools improved. Advances in DNA analysis, cell phone data interpretation, digital tracking, forensic genealogy allowed investigators to revisit old evidence with new methods. Cold cases often become solvable not because new crimes occur, but because old evidence can finally speak. In the Gilgo Beach investigation, this shift proved critical. After years of limited progress, law enforcement agencies restructured the investigation. Task forces were reorganized, evidence was re-examined, new specialists were involved. Investigators began focusing on behavioral and logistical patterns, including travel habits, geographic familiarity, communication methods, timing. This narrowed the field. Eventually, evidence began pointing toward Rex Heuermann. Rather than rushing to arrest, investigators carefully built their case. They used surveillance, data analysis, record comparison. This phase is often invisible to the public but crucial in ensuring that charges, when filed, are strong enough to withstand scrutiny in court. Investigators reportedly tracked movements, patterns, and connections quietly, confirming consistency over time. The goal was not speed, it was certainty. In 2023, authorities arrested Rex Heuermann. The announcement sent shockwaves through the community. After more than a decade, a suspect had finally been named. For the families of the victims, the moment was complex. Relief, pain, unanswered questions. For the public, it was a reminder that some investigations take years, and that patience does not mean abandonment. Prosecutors formally charged Heuermann with multiple counts related to homicide. The charges reflect the seriousness of the crimes, the strength of the evidence presented, the intent to pursue accountability. It is important to emphasize, charges are legal accusations. Convictions come only after trial. The legal process was just beginning. Authorities have outlined several categories of evidence used in the case, including forensic analysis, digital records, behavioral patterns. The specifics remain subject to court proceedings. As with all criminal cases, evidence will be examined, challenged, and interpreted within the legal system. This is not a media trial, it is a judicial one. Amid discussion of suspects and evidence, it is critical to pause. This case is not about notoriety, it is about lives lost. Each victim had a name, a story, and people who cared deeply about them. For years, their families lived without answers, carrying grief complicated by uncertainty. Justice, if achieved, cannot erase that pain, but it can acknowledge it. Many people ask, why did it take more than a decade? The answer lies in a combination of factors: environmental degradation of evidence, limited early technology, structural issues within investigative agencies, the patience required to avoid wrongful arrest. Hindsight makes progress appear obvious. Real-time investigations are rarely so clear. The arrest reignited public interest. Media coverage intensified. Discussions resurfaced around cold case funding, police accountability, advances in forensic science. The case became a reference point for how complex investigations can be revived and resolved. As of now, Rex Heuermann faces ongoing legal proceedings. The case remains active within the judicial system. Outcomes will be determined not by speculation, but by evidence, argument, and law. The Gilgo Beach case resonates because it challenges assumptions. It shows how offenders can blend into ordinary life, how investigations can stall without being abandoned, how science can reopen doors once thought closed. It also reminds us that justice is sometimes slow, but still possible. The arrest of Rex Heuermann did not conclude the Gilgo Beach story. It marked the beginning of accountability. This case stands as a testament to persistence in investigation, the importance of evolving technology, the enduring strength of families who never stopped seeking answers. As the legal process continues, the focus must remain where it belongs, on truth, accountability, and the lives that mattered long before headlines existed. Thank you for taking the time to listen.